Good morning, good morning, good morning! Welcome back to Children's Church. I'm so glad to have you here with me. And today we're talking about a basket full of hope. We are talking about the story of baby Moses in a basket. Do you have your paper Bible on you? Are you ready for a sword drill? Ready? Grab your paper Bible. Hold it up over your head. And then find me Exodus 1, verse 8. All right, Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. A new king, who had not known Joseph, came to power in Egypt. He said to his people, "Look, the Israelite people are more numerous and powerful than we are. Let us deal shrewdly with them. Otherwise, they will multiply further, and if war breaks out, they may join our enemies, fight against us, and leave the country." So the Egyptians assigned taskmasters over the Israelites to oppress them with forced labor. They built Pithom and Ramses as supply cities for Pharaoh. But the more oppressed them, the more they multiplied and spread, so the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites. They worked the Israelites ruthlessly and made their lives bitter with difficult labor in brick and mortar. Then the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, one of whom was named Shiphrah, the other Puah, "When you help the Hebrew women give birth, observe them as they deliver. If the child is a son, kill him, but if it's a daughter, she may live." The Hebrew midwives, however, feared God and did not do as the king of Egypt had told them. They let the boys live. So the king of Egypt summoned them and asked, "Why have you done this and let the boys live?" The midwives said to Pharaoh, "The Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women, for they are vigorous and give birth before the midwife can get to them." So God was good to the midwives, and the people multiplied, and the Egyptians became very afraid. So Pharaoh then commanded all his people, "You must throw every son born to the Hebrew into the Nile, but let every daughter live." Now a man from the family of Levi married a Levite woman, and the woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was beautiful, she hid him for 3 months, but could no longer hide him. She got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with asphalt and pitch. She placed the child in it and set it among the reeds by the bank of the Nile. Then his sister stood at a distance in order to see what would happen to him. Pharaoh's daughter went down to bathe the Nile River, while her servant girls walked along the river bank. Seeing the basket among the reeds, she sent her servant to go get it. When she opened it, she saw the child, a little boy, crying. She felt sorry for him and said, "This is one of the Hebrew boys." Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Should I go and call a woman from the Hebrews to nurse the boy for you?" "Go," Pharaoh's daughter told her. So the girl went and called the boy's mother, Jochebed, or Jochebed, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will pay your wages." So the woman took the boy and raised him. When the child grew older, she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, because, she said, "I drew him out of the water." What a dangerous thing. What a brave thing Jochebed did. She was ordered to kill her son, and instead she hid him for 3 months. What an act of faith and desperation to put him in a basket and send him down the Nile River, a place where crocodiles don't just live but thrive. That's still dangerous to this day. How brave of Miriam to hide in the reeds to watch her brother float away. How faithful was God that Moses made it through and made it to someone who could let him live, who could defy the Pharaoh and keep him alive. What a basket full of hope that was for the man who would lead God's people out of bondage in Egypt. A basket full of hope floating down the Nile with a secret, illegal, hidden child who would one day lead the people of Israel out of Egypt, but would not see the promised land. That's the sad part of Moses' story. He doesn't make it to the promised land, but he did bring hope. He brought forth a new generation among the Israelites who were no longer enslaved to Egypt, but were leaving to find their own home. Jochebed had hope that her son would be something more than just another boy thrown in the Nile. she put him in the Nile in a basket instead of throwing him like she was supposed to. And that basket carried the hope of her people, but she didn't know it yet. All she had was faith that God would keep his hand on Moses. And he did. For all the days of his life, God kept his hand on Moses. And Moses did as God commanded. That's what I want you guys to remember for this week. And I will see you guys next week with another kid from the Bible story.